And we are live. Whoosh. Guys, let me know. Can you hear me? Are we live? Thank you. April said no one. I need to add that to my to-do list. Let me add that right now. Apparently my channel banner all this time has said subscribe, guys, instead of subscribe. Let me add that to my to-do list now. Just a second. Who have we got? Hello, Tesney. Come on. Hello, 24XOXO. Thank you, April. Beautiful. Hello, Senior Skills. 52VV says, we live. Sam says, yo, Tesney, what up? Man like Mohammed Haitam says, yo, what you telling me? All is good, man. I'm telling you, all is good. Today's going to be a fantastic session. You guys know the drill. 5:30 till 6:30. Let's get it. Hello, Ultimate Fire. Hello, Senior Skills. Hello, Nah. Hello, My Stuff. Sarah Jukuk. Hello, Jaturna. Hello, Sonic. There we go. There we go. Let's run a little test on the old iPad. Test. Guys, looks like we're all up and running. Over there, talk to me, guys. How are we feeling? Not too long until exams. They're getting closer. They're getting closer. For anybody wondering, we're going to be starting at 35 past, 35 minutes, just to give people chance to join. For some reason, I don't have the number of users, number of people on the stream loading right now. Can anybody see the number of concurrent viewers? Because for me, it's not telling me. How many have we got? A little bit weird. Oh, Fashion Diva says 31, Ava 31. Guys, what's the prediction? What are we getting to today? Last week, we peaked at about 55, maybe 60. How big can we get? "2006 Genie in the house." Beautiful. The concurrent viewers has loaded as well. Lox says, hey, can you tell us when the paper is foundation? So, Lox, on these live streams, on the social media live streams, I'm only doing higher papers. The reason is because the first part of the higher paper is also foundation, so it's great practice for anybody doing foundation. So probably the first 30 minutes of the session is going to be higher and foundation. Second part is higher only. Of course, I have the live academy. If you guys love the live streams, I'm doing 4 hours of live streams a week inside of the live academy. We go through a full foundation paper, full higher paper, but a little bit more on that later. If you're thinking about joining, today/tomorrow is the day. Actually, today, because the amount of content in there is about to skyrocket, so the price is also about to go up. But if you subscribe today, you're going to lock in the price. But I'll mention all that stuff later. Okay, 52VV said, I heard 2019 was the hardest series of papers. You know, honestly, I don't think it was. Honestly, I don't think it was. Tough, yes. There are definitely some tricky questions in this paper, but I would not say the hardest. Now, guys, two things before we get going. Thing number one, I would like you to let me know in the chat, please. Can you hear my music? I'm going to go silent. Everybody turn your volume up to max. Let me know, can you hear my music? You're not supposed to be able to hear. The music is for my vibes. If you can hear the music, I'm going to get flagged for copyright, which is not good. So just let me know, guys. I'm going to go silent for 10 seconds or so while I have a swig of water. Can we hear the music? Beautiful. Thank you, 2006 Genie, Tesney, Mohammed, Sam, Fashion Diva, Jeslyn Gigi, Wahi Majid. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it very much. Second test, we're going to do the clap test. And that is basically to see if we have any delay on the stream. Normally, we don't. Basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to clap. I'm going to count down from 3 and then clap. Get clap ready to hit enter. And then as soon as you hear me clap, let me know. I want to check that there's only a very short delay in the chat. BF, be new guy. I don't support Derby County, and please stop asking me because you've asked me that quite a lot. Okay, guys. 3, 2, 1, clap. Let me know as soon as clap goes in, as soon as you hear it. Yep, okay. No delay. No delay. There we go. Thank you, Yashi, April, Natasha, Christella, Bunny, Wajid, Fashion Diva, Tesney, Ava, 06 Genie, 52VV. Thank you, team. Thank you. Okay. You know the drill. Question number 1. Let's get going. I would say mid-difficulty paper here. If you're new, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. The format is simple. I go live every Monday, 5:30 to 6:30, completely for free here on YouTube, going through GCSE maths past papers. I give you a little bit of time to do each of the questions, and then I go through them. The way to get the most out of this session is absolutely to do the paper as we're going through. Can you just wait for me to go through it? Yes, you can. Can you have this on in the background when you're revising for another subject? Yes, you can. Will you get the most benefit from this session by doing the paper with me? Yes, you will. Yes, you will. A couple of people asking if this is beneficial for IGCSE and if this is beneficial for AQA. Yes, it's beneficial for both. EdXL and IGCSE EdXL are extremely similar. IGCSE has a couple of extra topics, but all of this content that we're going to go through today comes up in IGCSE. For AQA, yes, it is all relevant. I'm only doing questions that come up in EdXL and AQA. Without further ado, question number 1. What do you reckon, guys? Drop your answer in the chat for me when you have one. What do we think? What do we think? Answers in the chat for me to question number 1. Jaterma's got an answer in, Natasha as well. Nice. Okay, let's have a look then. Just a second to pick up my pen. Okay, guys, question number 1. The question says there are only blue cubes, red cubes, and yellow cubes in a box. The table shows the probability of taking at random a blue cube from the box. The number of red cubes in the box is the same as the number of yellow cubes in the box. Complete the table. Well, we know that there are only blue, red, and yellow, which means that all of the probabilities have to add to make 1. We know that probabilities have to add to make 1 if we have all of the different options. So blue, red, and yellow probabilities add to make 1. Now, what does that mean? That means that the total of the red and yellow is going to have to be 1 minus 0.2, which is 0.8. And this is the total of the red and yellow. Now, what else do we know? We also know that the number of red cubes is the same as the number of yellow cubes. So the probabilities are the same. The same number of cubes means the same probabilities. So what we can do is we can split this remaining 0.8 between the red and yellow. So we can do 0.8, 0.8 divided by 2, and that gives 0.4. So each of those probabilities are going to be 0.4, 0,4. Okay, hopefully that one made sense, guys. Great work if you got it. Question number 2. This one I'm going to go through just now. I'm going to ask for a little bit of a rapid fire round. Answers in the chat for me. As soon as you're ready for it, there are 12 blue cubes in the box. Work out the total number of cubes in the box. There are 12 blue cubes in the box. Work out the total number of cubes. And guys, this is a non-calculator paper. Non-calculator paper. Hey, NJ, good to have you on. Pleasure as always, mate. Pleasure as always. One of the real OGs. What do we think for for part B then, guys? What do we think for part B? Part B, yep, I can see some answers in the chat. LAS1U 60, Fashion Diva 60, Natasha 60. Okay, let's have a look. Part B. So, the question says that there are 12 blue cubes in the box, and we're asked to work out the total number of cubes. Now, there are different ways to do this, but let's think about what we know. We know that the probability of it being blue is 0.2. So that means that a probability of 0.2 is represented by 12 blue cubes. What else do we know? We know the probability of red is 0.4 and the probability of yellow is 0.4 as well. And we can see that the probabilities are double the probabilities of blue, or the probability of blue. 0.2 for blue, but 0.4 for red and also 0.4 for yellow. Now, if we have double the probability, we also need double the number of cubes in the box. So what we're going to need to do is to double this 12 blue cubes to get the number of red and the number of yellow, and then we can add them together. So step number 1, we're going to do the 12 blue cubes times by 2, because there was double the probability, that's 24. So this is the number of red and the number of yellow, because they both had a probability of 0.4. And now to work out the total number of cubes in the box, we can do our number of blue, which was 12, plus red, which was 24, plus yellow, which was also 24. 24 plus 24 is 48, plus 12 is going to be 60, and that is our answer. Really good work, guys. Really good work. What do we reckon? Did it make sense? We're going to move on to question 2. We're keeping the pace high today. I see somebody apparently spamming in the chat about Derby County. Unfortunately, I did ask you to not put any more messages about Derby County, so I'm going to have to mute you, my friend. I'm very sorry. Oh, no, we'll do timeout. We'll do 24-hour, no, 30-minute timeout. I don't want to be too harsh. Because it wasn't deliberately disrupting, but I did say, buddy, I did say. Okay, team. 3 marks up for grabs on this next one. Khalid Malik, my pleasure. My pleasure. Glad they're helping. Okay. Team, are we ready? Let's have a little ready in the chat for me when you are, please, and we're going to go through it. Question number 2, man like Dion. Fun fact, my football team back in the day, the right winger was called Dion. Okay, Fashion Diva's ready. Alfie's in there with an answer. Hey, Mohammed, my pleasure. Okay, few people ready. Question number 2, let's have a look. The question says that Dion needs 50 grams of sugar to make 15 biscuits. She also needs 3 times as much flour as sugar, 2 times as much butter as sugar. Dion is going to make 60 biscuits. Work out the amount of flour that she needs. We can do this using different paths through the question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work out firstly the amount of sugar that we need, and then I'm going to times it by 3 to get the amount of flour. So, the amount of sugar. Well, we know that we need 50 grams for 15 biscuits. So how many for 60 biscuits? Well, how many times does 15 go into 60? Well, if we count up in our 15 times table, we have 15, 30, 45, 60. So it goes in 4 times. Goes in 4 times. So what do we know? Well, we know that we're going to need this 50 grams 4 times. So we're going to do 4 times by the 50 grams, and that is going to be 200 grams. Oh, not 2,000. 200 grams. This is our amount of sugar. This is our amount of sugar. And what about our amount of flour? Well, we need 3 times as much flour as sugar. So we're going to do our amount of sugar, 200 grams, times by 3. And that is going to give us 600 grams of flour. And that is our answer to question number 2A. Okay. Any questions for that one, guys? Let me know. Please, everybody, stop commenting about Derby County because it's very irrelevant. And I will have to mute you because it's disrupting the session. LAS1U said, are you doing this every Monday till the GCSEs? Yes, most likely. Most likely. Okay. Part B then, guys. Part B. Let me go through this one now because, again, it's a bit awkward the way it's on 2 parts of the page. So next up it says that Dion has all of the butter that she needs to make 60 biscuits. She buys the butter in 250-gram packs. How many packs of butter does Dion need to buy? Well, first of all, how much butter does she need? Well, we said 2 times as much butter as sugar. We said 200 grams of sugar. So we can do 200 grams of sugar, 200 grams of sugar, times by 2, which is going to be 400. And that is the amount of grams of butter that we need. Now, how many 250-gram packs is that? Well, if we count up in 250s until we get past 400, we can go 250 for the first pack, 500 after the second pack, and we can see that's already enough. So in total, we need 2 packs of butter in order to have enough. Okay, guys. Any questions for that one? Fashion Diva says, where did the 200 come from? So the 200 came from, we know that she needed 2 times as much butter as sugar. From part A, we worked out 200 grams of sugar she needed. So then we times it by 2 to get the 400 grams of butter. And then that was 2 packs at 250 grams each. Wonderful work, team. We're going to move on now to question number 3, an absolute classic in exams, highest common factor. Highest common factor. Tesney said, OMG, my fave question. Arian said, damn, 43k subs. Lots of subs gained from last year's streams, Matt. Congrats. Hey, thank you very much, Arian. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. We're we're growing. It's exciting times. Okay, quite a few 18s going in the chat, quite a few 9s. What do we reckon, team? 9, 18, what do you think and why? Have a think about it. Another 30 seconds or so, and I will go through it. Okay, NJ. The person who keeps saying about Derby County is the same person creating new accounts. So without any warning, just mute them. I've muted them a few times. Somehow they are signing into different YouTube accounts to drop Derby County on the stream. Okay, a few 18s going in the chat. Yep, let's have a look. Question number 3. What are we going to do? Well, the question says find the highest common factor of 72 and 90. Now, there are a couple of different ways to do this. One way is to just write out all of the factors of 72 and all of the factors of 90, and then to work out the highest one, which is in both. However, sometimes for bigger numbers, it's good to have a systematic method, so we're going to do it using the factor tree method. So you could just write out the factors, but this method is going to work in every situation. So what are we going to do? Step number 1. We're going to do a prime factorization of both of these, or we're going to use a factor tree. So what we're going to do is we're going to split 72 up into smaller and smaller factors until all that we have is prime numbers. So firstly, we split it down into 36 times by 2. Then the 36 we can split into 2, circle it because it's prime again, times by 18. The 18 we can split into, this is going to be a bit big, I didn't think about this, 9 times by 2, circle it because it's prime, and then the 9 we can split down once again into 3 times by 3, and circle them both because they're both prime. Now doing the same thing for 90, so we're going to split it down into 9 times by 10, neither of those are prime, so we're not going to circle them. 9 can be 3 times by 3, circle them both because they're prime. 10 can be 5 times by 2, circle them both because they're prime. Now here is the thing. How do we find the highest common factor from these factor trees? What we need to do is we need to multiply all of the factors that they have in common. So we can see that they have a 2 in common, a 2 and a 2. They have a 3 in common, a 3 and a 3. And then they have another 3 in common, another 3 and another 3. So in total, they have 2 3s and they have a 2. And then to find the highest common factor, what we can do is we just do 3 times 3 times by 2. 3 times 3 is 9, times by 2 is 18, telling us that the highest common factor is 18. Is 18. Okay, question number 6 we're going to do next. It's going to be unpopular, 4 marks, but this is where we're going to start making some real gains. This is one of the wordiest, most annoying questions, I would say, in GCSE maths history. Don't auto-ban the words Derby and County, just in case people mention it at a different time. It's not too much of an issue. They're going to get bored eventually. Natasha says, Tesney, I'll be back. Food time. Time to break the fast, I guess. Congratulations on another day of fasting. I'm actually taking part on the 12th. I'm going to do a day of fasting in honor. But I can't lie, I'm really not looking forward to no water for a day. No food is fine, I can tank that. But no water is a different beast. Austin, great question, says, wouldn't you use the Venn diagram for the highest common factor? Yeah, so that is kind of what we did. We just did it without actually drawing the Venn diagram. So with the Venn diagram, you could draw out, with the highest common factor, you can draw out the Venn diagram. Then it's just going to be the numbers in the overlapping section. But I kind of did it without even mentioning the Venn diagram. Okay, team. What do we think? Question number 6. I can see some answers going in the chat. By the way, guys, I have a bit of an exciting announcement at the end of today's session. I have an exciting announcement at the end of today's session. And there's a chance that I'll be very tired at the end of the session. So I might forget. But just remind me. Remind me about the announcement because it's quite fun. It's quite a fun one. Okay, team, ready in the chat for me when you're ready. And we're going to go through question number 6. This is a bit of a long one. I'm just changing my tunes up. Okay, Red Bull says, I'm going to leave soon. Could you hint it? It has to do with a weekly giveaway and it has to do with the live academy. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, question number 6. Let's have a look. Question number 6. The question says, oh, let me just grab my pen. Yeah, pen. Okay, question 6. A shop sells packs of black pens, packs of red pens, and packs of green pens. There are 2 pens in each pack of black pens, 5 pens in each pack of red pens, 6 pens in each pack of green pens. On Monday, the ratio of the number of packs of black pens sold to the number of packs of red pens sold to the number of packs of green pens sold is 7 to 3 to 4. A total of 212 pens were sold. Work out the number of green pens sold. This one is a serious tongue twister, serious brain twister. But how do we do it? Well, the first thing that I spot that we have ratios, but it's for the number of packs sold. We know the total number of pens sold were 212, and we want the number of green. Well, if we have the ratio of black pens to red pens to green pens, then we can do ratio division or proportional division to work out the number of each color. We can divide the 212 pens into the ratio of the black to red to green. Problem: we don't have the ratio of the pens. We have the ratio of the packs. But how can we go from the ratio of packs to the ratio of pens? Well, we know that the ratio is in the form black to red to green. We know that for packs, the ratio is 7 to 3 to 4. Well, how can we go from this to the ratio for pens? Well, we know how many pens are in each of the packs. So we can multiply the number of packs by the number of pens in that color of pack. So for the black, there's 2 pens in each pack. So we can do 7 times by 2, which is 14. For red, there is 5 pens in each red pack. So we can times the number of parts for red by 5 to get 15. And for green, there's 6 pens in each green pack. So we can do 4 times by 6 is 24. So that's what we did. I'll write it in a different color just to make it super clear. So this was times 2. This was times 5. And this was times 6. Now, where do we go from there? We know that 212 pens were sold in total. Now we can do our ratio division. So we work out the total number of parts in our ratio. So we have 14 plus 15 plus 24. 14 plus 15 is 29, plus 24 is going to be 53. So we have 53 parts in total in our ratio. So now we know 212 pens, 53 parts. Next step, let's work out the number of pens per part in our ratio. How do we do that? We divide the number of pens by the number of parts. So we're going to do the 212 pens divided by the 53 parts. 212 divided by 53, we can count up in 53s and see when we get up to 212. So 53, 106, 159, 212. We can see that it goes in 1, 2, 3, 4 times in total. So 4. What does that tell us? Each part in our ratio is worth 4 pens. Next step, well, how many parts are for green pens? 24 parts for green pens, 4 pens per part. Now we can do our final touch, times them together. 24 times by 4 is going to be 96 in total. 96 in total. Oh, guys, this was a tough one, eh? Please, can you let me know in the chat if you didn't get it, but it makes sense now? Please, in the chat, guys, let me know. Makes sense now. Please put that in the chat if you understand it now. They're my favorite type of comments. It's the reason I do what I do. Good work, Fashion Diva. Good work, April. Alfie got it before. Top work, mate. Rover, you're very welcome. Okay, guys, let's keep moving. Question number 7 up next. This is another good one for us to go through. Fantastic. 52VV says grade 9 incoming. Arian says came up in mocks, went pretty well. Good job, mate. Good job. Fantastic work. For anybody who is wanting me to go through some of the more difficult questions or the last questions in the exam, I'm not going to be doing these on these Monday lives. And the reason is because we're doing what's beneficial for the most people. And most people are aiming for a grade 5, grade 6, grade 7. Not many students are aiming for a grade 8, grade 9. And those last questions in the paper are for students aiming for a grade 8 and grade 9 most of the time. So that's why we focus on, you know, the kind of mid-range difficulty questions, especially the problem-solving questions. If you are interested in me going through full papers, that's what the Live Academy is for. So at the moment, it's £37 a month. The price is about to go up, which I'm going to talk a bit about later, because I'm about to add way more live streams, way more features. So it's less than a quarter of the price of a tutor, blah, blah, blah. I'll speak about it later. But yeah, if you want kind of more thorough support and you really like this format of learning, then I go through a full foundation paper and a full higher paper every week inside of the Live Academy. So if you want the full paper, the most difficult questions, that's where you're going to find it. Also, if you're aiming for a grade 4, or you're aiming for to be honest, any grade you're aiming for, that's where the Live Academy comes in. This is kind of like the, just first step of improving a lot, but not taking things to the next level, let's say. Good work, Tiara. This one's a tricky one, guys. Some nice problem solving. This one isn't A-level maths, even though it looks like it. It's GCSE. Yes, Austin, that's right, it is. I'm not seeing any answers in the chat at the moment, guys. I'm not seeing any answers in the chat at the moment. Come on, team. I reckon we got this one. I reckon we got this one. Goo says, do you teach A-level maths? I have taught A-level maths, so kind of privately, I used to teach A-level maths, university level maths. GCSE maths, A-level further maths, everything maths. But on social media, I only do GCSE. Okay, guys, I can see some answers going in the chat. Are we ready? Little ready in the chat for me if you're ready, and we're going to go through it. Question number 7, question number 7, question number 7. That was my impression of the guy on Storage Wars. What a show that was, if anybody knows that one. I think that was some classic MTV, maybe. Okay, team. Question number 7. Let's have a look. So the question says, here are two rectangles, A, B, C, D, and P, Q, R, S. We're told firstly that QR is 10 centimeters. It doesn't say that on there, so let's draw it on. So QR is the line between Q and R, so 10 centimeters. It says BC equals PQ. We don't have PQ, we don't have BC, but we know they're the same. So I'm going to call them X for now, because we know they're the same, but we don't know them yet, so we're going to have to work them out. The perimeter of ABCD is 26. Okay, let me park that for now. The area of PQRS is 45. So let me write that in here. 45 centimeters squared. Find the length of AB. Okay, strategy. How are we going to work out the length of AB? Well, I'm instantly thinking this. I'm thinking AB and DC are going to be the same. So if I know what they are together, then I can work out AB. I know that the perimeter of ABCD is 26. So if I can work out X, then I've got this one, I've got this one. I can take that away from 26 to get AB and DC together, then I can halve it to get AB. But then the question becomes, okay, how do I work out X? How do we do it? We look over to PQRS, and we see that we know the area, we know the height, but we don't know the base, or we don't know the width, however you want to call it. But we do know the relationship between the lengths and the area. We know to work out the area of a rectangle, we do base times by height, or width times by height. In other words, in this case, width is x, height is 10, x times by 10 equals 45. Now to work out x, we divide both sides by 10. X is equal to 4.5, 4.5. So we have this side length here. Now that we have this side length here, 4.5, we know the opposite one is also 4.5. And then we can add those together. 4.5 plus 4.5 is going to be 9. And we know the total perimeter, so all of the side lengths added together of ABCD is 26. So we can do the total perimeter 26 minus those two sides 9, which is going to be 17. And that's going to be the top side, AB, and also the bottom side, DC together. Final step then, team. Final step. What's it going to be? Well, we can divide the 17 by 2 because it's split equally between the top and the bottom. So we can do 17 divided by 2, and that is going to give us 8.5 as our answer. If you weren't sure how to do that division, you could technically do it using the bus stop method. So 17 divided by 2. 2's into 1 goes 0 times remainder 1. 2's into 17. 2's into 17 goes 8 times. But we need to put in our decimal point and our 0. Our decimal point. So goes in 8 times remainder 1. And then 2's into 10 goes in 5 times. So 8.5 is our answer. Team. Very well done. If you got that one, did it make sense when I went through it? Did it make sense? Yes, Rover. Good job. Good job. Good job, Drew. Nice work, Orion. Good work, Ava. Nice fashion diva. Locks, that question was still technically foundation, but we are getting towards the end now. I actually can't remember in this particular paper when it stopped. I think it probably was that question. Okay, next one we're going to do. We're going to do question number 9. Question number 9. How are we doing on time? 25 minutes to go. Okay, Julie says, do you do private tutoring? And how much is it? And where to find you? I don't offer private tutoring, Julie, but I do have a kind of a small kind of cohort of doing this, but to a smaller group of students, with a smaller group of students called the Live Academy. We do 4 hours a week, and it's £37 a month. The price is about to increase a lot, guys, because I'm about to add more live streams and stuff. So, like I said, I'm going to say it at the end, but if you're interested and you've been thinking about it, you should really sign up now, to be honest. It's going to save you a lot of money. So, I'm just going to put the link in the chat, mygcsemaths.com/live academy. Honestly, it's so clear of a tutor. Like, I've been a tutor for a long time, and I know and I have friends with tutoring agencies, and I know a lot about the tutoring game. And this is so clear of getting a tutor, and it's at the moment it's less than an eighth of the price. Soon it's going to go up, but it's a YouTube live stream, Julie. It's a YouTube live stream with a very small number of students. Questions in the chat for me, team. Questions in the chat. Fashion Diva's got one, not Fashion Diva. 2006 Genie. Guys, I'm going to give a hint, which is it does say to give it in its simplest form. It does say to give it in its simplest form. Grace Mariam, do you think I can get a grade 8 if I'm currently at a grade 6? With the right revision strategies and techniques, 100%. Millions of students have done that over the years, or hundreds of thousands at least. 100% you can do it. Okay, I can see answers going in the chat. I can see answers going in the chat. Team, let's have a look. Question number 9. So question 9 says work out 3.5 times by 1 3/5. Give your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. Now this is a classic GCSE question, comes up almost every year in some form or another. How do we multiply or add or divide or subtract mixed numbers? Step number 1, we rewrite the mixed numbers as improper fractions. Step 2, we do the multiplication, addition, subtraction, whatever. Step 3, we write them back in if we have to. So first off, 3.5 as a improper fraction. How do we write it? Well, to convert a mixed number into an improper fraction, we do the whole number times by the denominator. So in this case, 3 times by 2, plus the number on the top, plus the numerator. So 3 times by 2 is 6, plus the 1 on the top is 7. So we have 7 over 2 times by, again over here on the right-hand side, 1 times by 5 is 5, plus 3 is 8, so 8 over 5. Next step, we do the multiplication. How do we multiply one fraction by another fraction? We do the top times the top and the bottom times by the bottom. So we're going to do 7 times by 8, that is going to be 56 on the top, and on the bottom, 2 times by 5, that is going to be 10. Next step, we simplify if we can. The top and bottom can both be divided by 2 because they're both even numbers. On the top, we're going to have 56 divided by 2 is 28, and on the bottom number, 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now converting our improper fraction back into a mixed number. How do we do it? We work out how many times does my denominator go into my numerator. That tells us the whole number part. And then how many do I have left over? That goes on the top of our fraction. So how many 5s go into 28? Well, 5 times 5 is 25. So it goes in 5 times fully. How many do we have left over? Well, 28 is 3 higher than 25, which was the multiple of 5 that we used. So it's 3/5. 5 and 3/5. Good job, guys. Good job if you got that. Definitely not the most straightforward one. I'm in a bit of a habit of saying not the easiest one, but it's true. These questions are tough. Zain Mahmood says, can you simplify before multiplying? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I just saw a fly past my face. Okay, next up, question number 10. Not question number 10. Maybe we will. Let's do 12. 12 is a good one. Wajilbino says, come and get it. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. I heard Matthew McConaughey say that, and it's what a phrase. It's just all right, all right, all right. You know, you just roll. You just got to keep moving. Good question, this one, team. Good question. Question 12. Let's have a little vote. Should I say team or should I say gang? What do we prefer, team or gang? What do you prefer? Oh, not a Q&A. Let's do a poll, start poll. What do you prefer? Okay, team. Okay, gang. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Okay, team. Okay, gang. What do you reckon, guys? Voting in the chat for me. So far, we have 100% saying okay, gang. There's 40 of us. Put them up, 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 put them up. 24% team, 65% gang, 17% guys. It's changing. Put them up, put them up, put them up. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Again, I'm doing my Storage Wars voice. Okay, gang is by far the most popular. I did not expect that. I got to be honest, guys. Gang. I got to be honest, gang. Okay. Little ready in the chat for me, team, when you're ready, and we'll go through it. Little ready for me, and we'll go through it. Little Faye says, yo, Little Faye. Good to have you. Okay. Question 12. Let's have a look. The question says, here are three spheres, P, Q, and R. The volume of sphere Q is 50% more than the volume of sphere of P. The volume of R is 50% more than Q. Find the volume of P as a fraction of the volume of R. Okay, so P, so the smallest one, as a fraction of R, the biggest one. Now, there's different ways to think about this, but the clearest, the easiest, the nicest way is to just say, okay, let's pretend that P is a number, and we're going to go for a nice number like 100, 1,000. You could also do it with 10, but I'm going to go with 100 because it's going to be the nicest. So let's say P is 100. Then we can work out if P is 100, what would Q be? And if Q is that, what would R be? Then to work out P as a fraction of R, we're just going to do 100 over whatever this is, and we're going to simplify. It doesn't say we have to, but I'm going to simplify. So, okay, how are we going to do this? Well, Q is 50% more than P. Well, to add 50%, what do? We find 50% of our number, so half of our number, and we add it on. 50% of 100 is 50, half of 100 is 50, so we add that on. 100 plus 50 is 150. Now we add on another 50%. But this time it's 50% of 150 that we're adding on. Half of 150 is 75, so we're adding on 75. 150 plus 75 is 225, not 222. Great number, 225. So that was plus 50, and that was plus 75. Now, to work out the volume of P as a fraction of the volume of R, we do 100 over 225. And that is our answer. If we wanted to, we could simplify, divide the top and bottom both by 25 would be the quickest way. 100 over 25 is 4, and 225 over 25 is 9. Giving us our answer of 4 over 9. Whoosh. Tricky one. We're getting more into the depths. Question 13. I know that this is a very unpopular topic, but we're going to go through it. Ava says, why did you add 75? Great question, Ava. So we had to increase the volume of sphere Q by 50% to get to sphere R. So we said, okay, well, what is Q? Q was 150. We had to increase that by 50%. 50% of 150 is half of 150. Half of 150 is 75. So we added on 75. How did that sound, guys? Any questions? Did we get it? How's it going, guys? Just drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready for this one, because I know it's a proof question. It's a tricky one. But what do we think? Have we got it? If you have got it, write it in the chat. Write your answer in the chat. 2006 Genie said, hard to prove in text, but I get it. Yeah. Tiara said, why do we use 100? We could have used any number, Tiara, but 100 was just convenient for the increasing. Made it nice numbers. Okay, question 13 then, guys. Let's have a look. The question says, given that n can be any integer, such that n is greater than 1, an integer is just a whole number, and greater than 1, prove that n squared minus n is never an odd number. In other words, prove that n squared minus n is an even number. How are we going to do this? Well, here's a pro tip. If ever we get given an expression like this in a proof question which has not been factorized, we're probably going to have to factorize it. Similarly, if we've ever been given one which is factorized, we're probably going to have to expand it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to factorize this. So n squared minus n. To factorize, we need a number which goes into n squared, or a letter, and also minus n. Well, n goes into both of them. N times n is n squared, and n times minus 1 is minus n. So this is a factorized version. Now, how is that helpful? Well, what do we know about n and n minus 1? We know that n is 1 bigger than n minus 1. In other words, it's the next number. So like if n minus 1 was 4, n would have to be 5. If n minus 1 was 11, n would have to be 12. Now, how is this helpful? Well, what do we know about consecutive numbers, numbers which come one after another? If one of them is odd, the other one has to be even. So, for example, if the first one was 3, the second one would be 4. Or if the first one was 12, the next one would be 13. That's consecutive numbers. Now, what do we know about an even number times by an odd number? Well, we know that an even number times an odd number is always an even number. So how can we write this out? Well, we know, so n and n minus 1 are consecutive. So 1 must be odd, and the other even. We know even times odd equals even, so it's never an odd number. So never so never an odd number. Guys, look at that. Look at that. Talk to me. How do we find this one? Any questions? Random clip says W stream. Awesome. Please, if anybody's spamming in the chat, no spamming, please. 2006 Genie said, I understand now. Fantastic. How are we doing on time? 20 past. We've got time for one more. Let's finish with question number 15. Guys, question number 15. And then I have a very special announcement at the end, which you're going to want to stick around for. And I'm also going to ask you to do the review. So you know that bit's coming as well. I'm just going to put the link in the chat now. So I'll unpin the other one. Unpin message. And in fact, I'm actually going to give time to leave the review before we go through this question. So have a think about how to do this question. See if you can figure it out. You definitely want to stay for the announcement at the end. But I'm going to pin this message. And guys, if you've been with me before, You will have heard me say this at the end of the last stream. I say at the end of every stream. I've just put a little review link in the chat. For some reason, when you click it, it says this link may be dangerous. You can just look at the link. It's a Trustpilot link, trustpilot.com or .co.uk, whatever it is. So yeah, I really want to keep doing these free Monday live streams. As I'm going to talk about in about 5 minutes after we go through the next question. Oh, let me just refresh this. I do also have some more streams that I do each week on a Wednesday and a Thursday inside of the Live Academy. But I really want to keep doing these free Monday ones as well, this 1 hour a week for free. I can only do that. If we can collect reviews and grow the stream, the social media stream, as much as possible. So the way that you guys can support that, the way you can support me, the way that you can keep me doing these free Monday ones, is by leaving a review. So hit that Trustpilot, leave a review. I really want to get it up to a good rating. Some annoying trolls tend to rate it low with like spammy reviews. So for some reason, the rating has gone down a bit, which is annoying. But guys, if you could leave a review, that would be absolutely brilliant. A123 says, I'm new here. When do you start? Welcome, welcome. We are live every Monday, 5:30 till 6:30 here on YouTube. Thank you, Random Clips. Says, guys, this is the best GCSE maths teacher. He got me a 9 in 2023. Yes, sir. Congratulations, Random Clips. Congratulations. That's what we do. Ava says, can we do it again if we did it last time? I don't think you can. I don't think it'll let you. Yeah. Tesney said, is there absolutely no way to change the time because it falls under iftar? I have said to everybody everywhere that it's 5:30, which I know it's really annoying that it's iftar. How many more days of Ramadan are there? Will it affect for many more weeks? Because I know it won't be going on for too much longer. But I also know it's really annoying. 10 more days. Okay, so it's only going to be 1 more week of the annoying timings. Yeah, okay, thank you, Tesney. So next week we will keep the session the same time. I know it's annoying for everybody who is participating in fasting and stuff, but don't worry. Soon you'll be able to join with the convenient timing. To be honest, I didn't factor it in. I should have done, but I didn't. Okay, guys, let me know in the chat when you're ready, and we'll go through question number 15. And I'm going to move this up for what is going to be the surprise. Okay, ready in the chat for me, guys. Stay engaged. 43 of us. I need a few more readies first, and then we're going to go through it. Lil Faye's ready. Okay, team question number 15. The question says, the diagram shows a solid shape. The shape is a cone on top of a hemisphere. The height of the cone is 10 centimeters, okay. The base of the cone has a diameter of 6, okay. The hemisphere has a diameter of 6, okay. The total volume of the shape is k pi, where k is an integer, just a whole number. Work out the value of k. Basically, the question is saying, work out the volume. Work out the volume, giving your answer in terms of pi. And we have our formulas over here, so all that we need to do is apply them. Let's first off work out the volume of our cone. So the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. We can see r is the radius at the bottom, h is the vertical height. We have the vertical height of 10. We don't have the radius at the moment, we have the diameter. But how do we get from the diameter to the radius? the radius is half of the diameter. So we're going to firstly work out the radius. I'll just write it up here. Radius is equal to 3, half of the diameter. So the volume of the cone is equal to 1 over 3 times pi times the radius squared, so 3 squared, times the height, so times 10. 3 squared is 9, times 10 is 90. A third of 90 is 30, so 30 pi. Let me say that one more time. 3 squared is 9, times 10 is 90. A third of 90 is 30, so we have 30 pi. Now, what about our hemisphere? So the volume of the hemisphere. Well, this is equal to 4 over 3 pi r cubed. That's the formula for the volume of a full sphere, but we don't have a full sphere. We have a hemisphere, so we have half of a sphere. So we're going to work out the volume of the full sphere and then divide it by 2. Or what we're going to do is we're going to start off by halving this formula. Now, what's half of 4 over 3 pi r cubed? It's 2 over 3 pi r cubed. So the volume of a hemisphere is 2 over 3 pi r cubed. It's half of this. Half of the 4 over 3 is 2 over 3. Now, we know the radius. The radius is 3. So we have 2 over 3 times pi times by the radius is 3 cubed. Okay, stay with me, team. I know this is tough. Stay with me. I know this is tough. Next up, 3 cubed. Well, 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. 2/3 of 27. 2/3 of 27. How do we find a fraction of a number? We divide by the number on the bottom times by the number on the top. So we're going to do 27 divided by 3, which is 9, times by 2, which is 18. So this is 18 pi. 18 pi. Now, we have the volume of the cone, we have the volume of the hemisphere. All that we have to do is combine them. 30 pi plus 18 pi. Let's do it together, team. 30 pi plus 18 pi, and that is equal to 48 pi. 48 pi. Team, if you got it, very well done. What is the value of k? Well, k is the number next to the pi in the question, so we can say k is equal to 48, and that, guys, is our final answer to our final question. But don't go, I have an exciting announcement. But first, how was that one, guys? How was that one? Let's bring it back to center. Let's bring it back to base. Lil Face says, how about the full sphere and then half of it? That also works. Ava said, yeah, I actually got this. Proud. Good job, Ava. Good job. Fashion Diva says, OMG, I understand it. Now I overcomplicated it. Wonderful, Fashion Diva. Hey, fantastic work. Fantastic work. Good job. Good job, Arian. Good job, Ibrahim. Good job to everybody who got that one. Wonderful, wonderful work. Okay. Fashion Diva, you're welcome. You're welcome. Guys, well done. Okay, so here's the announcement. The first announcement is, if you don't already know, the Live Academy is rocking and rolling. So basically, the Live Academy, I go live twice a week, every week, Wednesday and Thursday inside of the Live Academy, and there's a bunch of other things in there. So one more somber announcement is that the Live Academy is about to go up in price a fair bit. At the moment, it's £37 a month. It's going to go up a fair bit because I'm adding a lot of stuff in there. The flip side of that is you guys are hearing now that it's about to go up in price because I'm about to add a bunch more stuff. So if you've been thinking about signing up, it's £37 a month, quarter of the price of a tutor. Now is the time to sign up. That's what I would say. So if you just let me know in the chat, just say Roger that, heard, understood, because I just wanted to let you know that that's going to happen, so that you know that's about to happen. What's the Live Academy? Basically, it's a revision community. I do kind of a small group live streams like this twice a week. Wednesdays, 5 till 7, we go through a full foundation paper. Thursdays, 5 till 7, a full higher paper. But then there's also some other benefits. There's like a live vault, hundreds of recordings, hundreds of hours, all of that stuff. Which, yeah, I'm going to talk more about in the coming weeks, because honestly, for the sake of however much money it would be in the build up to exams, guys, it's so worth it. Ask your parents, do whatever you want to do if you're interested. Obviously, I know that not everybody's in a position where they can do this. That's why I still do the Monday lives. But seriously, it's a bit of a cheat code. It's a bit of a cheat code when it comes to just getting ready for exams, feeling good, feeling positive. We go through a lot of mindset stuff. I know a lot of people are stressed out ahead of exams. I share with you all of the things that I've learned over the years about mindset, managing the mind, performance strategies, how to feel good on exam day, how to walk into all of your exams feeling confident, obviously, especially the maths exams, and what it looks like inside. Basically, there's more stuff about to be added. This is a secret that you're not supposed to see yet. But basically, live classes each week. You click in here, you download the past papers before the sessions, and then you join the classes. And then we put all of the recordings in here. So you can see it started the 15th of January. And basically, the format is similar to this, but it's really small groups, and a full higher paper and a full foundation paper every week. Before I move on, does anybody have any questions about the Live Academy? Does anybody have any questions? Akat says, wait, so why do I see a random wheel spinner? You will find out in just a second. Can anybody guess why it's there? Tesney said how many people have joined it. At the moment, there's only 6 people in there, I think. 6 people have signed up in total. Yeah, 6 people have signed up in total. So they're really small groups. Sometimes there's even it's like almost 1-to-1 inside of the foundation sessions. Marcos Genie said for the live, is it every week inside of the platform? Yeah, twice a week, every week. Up to this point, it's been 1 hour, 1 hour foundation, 1 hour higher a week, and there's been less things in there, but it's about to, increase with loads more stuff, the 4 hours a week, and also some other systems and frameworks, basically, which are going to get you guys 100% confident before your exams. How does it sound good? Yeah, Lil Faye knows what's coming. Lil Faye knows what's coming. Tesney says you're going to spin it. Mosara says, is it free to join? Nope. At the moment, that's what I was saying. It's £37 a month. It's about to increase quite a lot because there's going to be so much more stuff in there. And because genuinely it's so high value that it's worth it 10 times over. But okay. Any questions about the Live Academy? Just let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if everything is understood. And then if you are ready for the next session, next little bit, let me know as well. Just say ready. But thumbs up if we're ready. And if you have any questions, let me know. A123's got a nice little thumbs up. Akat, thumbs up. Lil Faye's ready. Ibrahim's ready. Very nice, very nice. Okay, some of you guys guessed it. Basically, what we're going to do is every single week at the end of our Monday live stream, I'm going to raffle away a spot in the Live Academy. So you get free access to the Live Academy if you win in the raffle. It's a little bit of fun to do at the end of every session. Yeah, the way to take part in the raffle to get your name in the draw is we throw a party at the end of every session. This is when the raffle names are going to be decided. So you just do the party, you put emojis in the chat, celebrate the fact that you've done the session. I don't know if I can close this. Yeah, there you go. And then I will put people's names who will do the party and put emojis into the spinner. I'm going to do wait till 10 people's names are in there or 20 people's names. And then whoever wins it will get access to the Live Academy. Now, the way to claim your access is, I've not actually come up with an idea yet, but what I'm thinking is email me saying that you were the winner, and you're going to have to send a screenshot of your YouTube showing that you're logged into that account, and then that will verify that it's actually you, and I'll sort you out with a free account. So guys, everybody, emojis in the chat, please, to get your name in the draw. So we have OM, I don't know how many I can put in here. We have Fashion Diva. Fashion Diva. This is the first time I'm doing this. I'm making it up on the fly. We have Orion Chaub. I'm just going to do short versions of everybody's names, guys. We have Ava. We have Yo Ya. We have ALKH. We have XOXO. We have Musara. I need them to be distinctive enough, but also quick. We have Tesney. We have 52VV. This is so much fun, guys. We have Miss Master. Miss Master 1412. We have Lil Faye. I didn't put anyone's name in twice, did I? Nope. We have... This is so much fun, guys. Maybe this is everybody. I can't see any other new names. I don't think I put Ibrahim in. Ibrahim. Marcos Genie. Cool name. Marcos Genie. We have Jathurna. We have... I think Tiara already went in. No, Tiara didn't go in. Okay, guys, we're going to lock it down there. This is all of the names. If I didn't put your name in, I'm literally just choosing random names from the chat at the rate that I can. Can we get a drum roll, please, guys? Guys, can we please get a... Everybody put drum emojis in the chat. Drum emojis in the chat. And then I will spin the wheel. I don't know how I actually start it. I'm guessing add wheel? How am I going to spin it? Shuffle? What do you think I do? This enter button? Maybe I click it. Okay, the drum's rolling, NJ, Akil, Fashion Diva, who's going to win? It is... Oh, it's XOXO! Congratulations to XOXO. Can we please get a round of applause in the chat? Guys, I don't want the negative... nobody say, oh no, it wasn't me. Everybody has an equal fair chance of winning. Let's get a clapping emoji in the chat. Game On says no. Ava's clapping as well. ALKH. Yeah, there you go. 24XOXO, you are in. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, send me a message, send me an email, XOXO. You can send it to matt@mygcsemaths.com. And I'll sort you out with an account. Make sure you just send a screenshot of like your YouTube account logged in or something like that to verify that it's you. And we are all good to go. The main thing I wanted to say though, guys, is the Live Academy at the moment, like I say, it's £37 a month with a free trial, 2-week money back guarantee as well, because it's so sick that I just want everybody to join, get in. It's more effective than a private tutor most of the time, but it's about to go up in price. So, yeah, if you're thinking about joining, now is the time to join. Now is really the time to join. There are not many of us on here. So I will also... Yeah, that's what I'll say. Yeah, there are not many of us on here. Yeah, that's very nice, 24XOXO. But no, you won the raffle. God, Fashion Diva. This is the thing. Should I join if I want a 7? Because my private tutor is £100. Genuinely, I don't know. You guys have been in the streams. You know what it's like. This 1 hour a week is nothing compared to being in the Live Academy. That's like... The Live Academy, we go through the full past paper every week. There's way less people in the class, so it's very personal. You can ask all of your questions and get them answered. You also get this past paper tracker, and we go through this process together. There's 10-minute Q&A at the end of every session. You get access to so much stuff, and it is so... I've been a private tutor for a long time, and I know a lot of tutors. It's so clear of having a tutor. I know a lot of you on the call now probably are paying like £40 an hour, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 pounds an hour. £37 a month for this is genuinely crazy. It's genuinely crazy. So Yeah, Game On says I paid £200 already for my tutor, and I think that was a bad idea. Honestly, guys, I'm not saying I'm not saying stop the tutoring, but rethink it. Um, Seriously rethink it because we're heading for a new era in education and the game's about to change. I think private tutoring can be fantastic. It can be brilliant. If you get a private tutor and they're a brilliant private tutor, it's going to be better than being in a group setting. But 99% of the cases, being in the live academy is way cheaper and way better, like way better than being with a private tutor. Yeah, it's definitely worth thinking about. And like I say, at the moment, the price is £37 a month. It's going to more than double, guys. It's going to more than double and it's going to more than double. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but by next week, yeah, by next week's Monday stream, it will more than double. Um, and I'm only telling you this now, and I'm only kind of, I don't know if I'm speaking quite passionately. I'm just trying to urge you to do it now if you're thinking about it, because you're going to get the same thing in 2 weeks, but it's going to be more than double the price. And you guys are with me. You're the OGs. I don't want you to look today. Think about it. £37 a month. Check back next week, and it's doubled, and it's too expensive. Um, So yeah, if you're thinking about it, private tutor, £40 an hour, 4 sessions a week, not a week, a month, 4 sessions a month, £160 a month. A lot of people do 2 hours a week. Then it's like 300 quid a month. This is £37 a month, and it's way more effective most of the time. Yeah, exactly. 24XOXO says because tutoring is actually so expensive. Yeah, exactly. Fashion Diva said, would it always be £37 if we do it now? Yes. £37 today will lock in the price. And you won't get like upgraded when the price goes up. You get all of the stuff that's in the next package when I release it next week. But it's £37 for the whole time period. Yeah, exactly. NJ says £200 for tutoring is stealing money at this point. Tutoring, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it can be really effective, and some tutors are brilliant. And I've been a tutor for a long time. Um, oh yeah, guys, let me put the link in the chat. Um, and to be honest, you guys are going to hear the same spiel from me every week now at the end of the sessions. I'm going to be promoting the live academy because I want as many of you to join as possible. Because what am I looking at? Because it's just honestly, it's a cheat code. I'm really excited to be honest. Because I've done. Why have I lost? There we go. It's because I was on the wrong thing. There we go. So this is like the page it'll take you to. And then as soon as you sign up, it's all really clear. You just click join. And then I mean, guys, if you do this one, seriously, if you do this one, you're paying 100 quid today or 97 quid today. This is going to last you till the end of exams, I think, 3 months. March to April to May to June. Uh, yeah, if you do this today, it's going to take you to the end of exams, and it's 100 quid, and that's 2.5 hours with a private tutor. And this is probably what I'm going to charge a month starting from next week. So the price is not confirmed, but yeah, I forgot to be honest about the 97 a quarter. A quarter means for 3 months, like a quarter of the year. But yeah, so the link is there. Replace pinned message. Okay. Cosonic says, does anybody know if it's one-to-one or a group? This is for group sessions. It's exactly the same format as the social media lives. There's actually some other things inside of the Live Academy. We do, starting from next week when the prices go up, we're going to do a full foundation paper every week, a full higher paper every week. You get access to all of the recordings. You get access to hundreds of hours of past recordings. We do a Q&A at the end of every session. So 10-minute Q&A at the end of the foundation session, 10-minute Q&A at the end of the higher session. During this Q&A, we go through a past paper tracker. So I've built this resource from scratch, which you guys will see. I'm about to start, about to distribute that as well. So I've built this resource from scratch, which allows you to put your marks in, mark papers as it's insane. Mark papers as you go, and then it automatically calculates your grades based on the grade boundary for that paper. It plots it on a graph, and then all you have to do literally is do the papers. You write down 2 topics you need to revise from the paper, and then you see your marks and your grades on a graph. You see the graph going up. You do 5 papers. By the time you've done 5 papers before your exam, you get your target grade in every paper. You go into your exam knowing your grade. It's insane. Like to be honest, I'm quite proud of what I've been able to do here because I've been working for a long time trying to build the perfect system for GCSE math revision exam preparation. I have done it, and yeah, I'm just super excited about it. Okay, guys, that's a spiel from me over. That's a spiel from me over. Okay, I'm excited though. It's a really it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Any questions, guys? Now we're off the Live Academy. We're off that topic. Any questions in general about the paper we did today, about GCSE maths? I know I've just been ranting for a while. It's only because I'm excited. Sarah says you're going to go through the paper. That's what we've been doing for the first part of the session today, and we do every week for free on YouTube, 5:30 to 6:30. Yes, Sarah, this is live. NJ, good to have you, mate. Great work today. Ava said you look like you have makeup on. That's this big light I have in front of me. That's actually a comment that I've never had. 52VV says, would you also do A-level in the academy? Only GCSE at the moment. Maybe my level maths will come soon though. Or maybe not soon, but maybe later down the line. Okay, team, I can't see too much stuff going in the chat. Make sure to capitalize on that Live Academy price at the moment because, like I say, it's about the more than double. So if you're thinking about it, lock it in now. If you lock in the 97 till the end of exams, you're going to be laughing. You're going to be laughing. Okay, I don't see any questions. I don't see any comments. Guys, that's all from me today. Can you put a little wave in the wave emoji in the chat for me if you heard it? Or if you heard me say bye? Sleps Flake said, what shampoo do you use? Your hair's really nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The key is actually not washing it too often. Maybe wait like 4 or 5, sometimes 6 days between washing it. To be honest, that's what I do. And then when I do, I use one from a brand called Kiehl's. Okay, goodbye Ava, goodbye Game On, goodbye Val E, goodbye ALKH, goodbye LAS1U, Jaturna 24XOXO, Game On, Sleeps Flake. Goodbye LA, my pleasure. Tesney says bye-bye people, see you on the next one. Goodbye Tesney, pleasure as always having you on. Lil Faye says goodbye, goodbye Lil Faye. Guys, it's time for me to say adios, arrivederci, ciao, ciao, ciao. Guys, I'll see you in the next one. Pleasure as always. Bye for now.